Viktor Gyökeres is causing disappointment in his early days at Arsenal, where he was expected to become the Gunners' leading spearhead after a sensational 54-goal season at Sporting. But the Swedish striker has been lackluster against Villarreal. So why is Gyökeres struggling at Arsenal? It's not just a matter of fitness or individual form, but the result of multiple complex factors, from tactics and the high-pressure environment to expectations and internal competition. The most fundamental and obvious reason for Viktor Gyökeres' underwhelming start at Arsenal is his suboptimal physical condition and inadequate preseason preparation. According to manager Mikel Arteta, Gyökeres didn't participate in any official training sessions for 2 months after leaving Sporting Lisbon. The prolonged transfer saga, combined with personal time off, meant he entered the preseason without an ideal fitness foundation. He's only been with us for about a week, Arteta shared after the match. We've seen a lot of things and a lot of intent, especially how he attacks certain spaces. Before the friendly against Villarreal, Gyökeres only managed 5 to 6 training sessions with the team. That's too short a time for a new signing to adapt to the physically demanding environment of the Premier League and grasp the rigorous tactical demands set by Arteta. As a result, the Swedish striker took to the pitch not at 100% in terms of endurance, speed, or match reflexes. Poor fitness robbed Gyökeres of the explosiveness that made him a beast at Sporting. His sprinting bursts, relentless high pressing, and strength in duels inside the box. In Lisbon, Gyökeres wasn't just a goal scorer. He was the initiator of the pressing system with relentless and intelligent ball chasing, pressuring opposition defenders and creating chances for teammates. At Arsenal, he hasn't shown that yet. His pressing lacked intensity and speed to create real pressure, while his ball handling became sluggish and imprecise, disrupting the attacking rhythm and missing chances to build play. Without good fitness, Gyökeres also lacked the confidence to maneuver in tight spaces, especially against physically dominant opposing center-backs. Another reason Viktor Gyökeres hasn't met expectations at Arsenal is his limited integration. Joining the team relatively late in the summer transfer window left the Swedish striker with insufficient time to familiarize himself with Mikel Arteta's complex tactics. Gyökeres is struggling to sync with Arsenal's controlled, deliberate, build-up play. In the Villarreal match, it was clear that Gyökeres' movements often fell out of sync with the midfield and surrounding attackers. There was almost no connection in link-up play with teammates like Martin Dedegaard, Gabriel Martinelli, or Bukayo Saka, who are accustomed to playing alongside strikers with a tendency to drop deep or link up well, like Gabriel Jesus or Kai Havertz. Gyökeres' group coordination also has notable limitations. He lacks sharp, short-range one-touch passing, often positions himself poorly in the box, isolating himself and not being fed the ball properly. In Arteta's system, a striker must create space for teammates and be ready to combine at high speed, something Gyökeres hasn't yet delivered. Another critical reason Viktor Gyökeres hasn't shown at Arsenal is the mismatch between his playing style and the tactical system Mikel Arteta operates. At Sporting Lisbon, Gyökeres frequently played in a 3-4-3 or 3-4-2-1, positioned as the highest point in the attack and the focal point of every build-up. In that environment, the Swedish striker had space to turn, leverage his strength, speed, and razor-sharp one-touch finishing. Sporting's fast counterattacks or direct play gave Gyökeres ideal conditions to showcase his physical attributes and goal-scoring instincts. However, at Arsenal, everything has changed. Mikel Arteta sticks to a 4-3-3 that emphasizes ball control and demands comprehensive involvement from the striker. In this system, the forward isn't just a finisher, but must act as a wall, drop, back to link play, connect with the midfield, and support from their own half. This is no easy task for a player coming from a lower intensity, less pressurized environment like the Premier Liga. Even Gabriel Jesus struggled in this role, though. Not in poor form, he was often seen as stifled in Arsenal's overly controlled system, lacking space to explode. Now, Gyökeres is in a similar, if not worse, situation, as he's not a striker who organizes play or distributes the ball with finesse, but rather thrives on strength and speed. Another notable tactical issue is Arsenal's attacking approach. The ball is often funneled to the wings, especially the right, where Bukayo Saka is prioritized as the main axis of attacks. This leaves Gyökeres starved of the ball in the center, without enough favorable passes to finish or act as a wall. He becomes a redundant figure moving in the box, but not fed the ball, unlike at Sporting, where teammates constantly supplied him in scoring positions. Another factor that cannot be overlooked in explaining Viktor Gyökeres' lackluster form at Arsenal is the psychological pressure from his transfer fee and the enormous expectations on his shoulders. Joining the Emirates for a fee of up to £64 million, Gyökeres was immediately labeled a blockbuster signing, bringing immense expectations from the media and fans. Moreover, he was given the number 14 shirt, associated with legend Thierry Henry. Wearing a number once donned by greats like Henry or Aubameyang is both an honor and an invisible burden for any striker, especially one just stepping into the cutthroat Premier League. Every touch by Gyökeres is scrutinized, and in his first start against Villarreal, he had only 14 touches and two relatively harmless shots. Social media erupted with harsh mockery. The number 14 stands out most for his touches. Such criticism inevitably affects a player's image and directly impacts confidence. Gyökeres is clearly weighed down by pressure, hesitant to play instinctively, often appearing uncertain in his handling, failing to recapture the image of the assassin who scored 43 goals for Sporting last season. The first thing Gyökeres needs is not just time but a patient environment to shed the pressure, free his mind, and rediscover himself. Arsenal's plan for the next 10 days is to prepare their new striker for the season opener against Manchester United. I think he's also built relationships off the pitch, which I think is very important for players to help him find the right position. And is he ready for the trip to Old Trafford? I think mentally and in understanding what he needs to do, he'll be at 100% or more, because he's very eager and confident he can play right away. I have no doubt he'll find a really good position, Arteta said. Viktor Gyökeres' poor performances in his early Arsenal matches shouldn't be viewed one-sidedly or hastily. This isn't a sign of a failed transfer, nor a decline in the technical ability of a striker who scored 54 goals for Sporting last season. His recent lackluster displays are the result of overlapping factors: inadequate fitness after a long period without training, slow integration, a tactical system not yet suited to his strengths, and the heavy psychological pressure from a massive transfer fee and fierce squad competition. Nevertheless, Mikel Arteta's faith in Gyökeres remains strong. The Spanish manager insists the striker will reach optimal condition before the Premier League opener against Manchester United. Moreover, with the right tactical support, Gyökeres can fully unleash the strengths that made him explode at Sporting. The question now is whether Arteta is willing to tweak the system to maximize Gyökeres' qualities, or if he'll stick to his current philosophy and force the Swedish striker to adapt. This will be a critical test for both player and manager in the 2025-26 title race.